Hey, what's going on, everyone? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Unchained Patriot. I'm your host, Tim Davis, aka Professor X. It's one man, one opinion, trying to make sense of them all in this lost, bizarre world. It is Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. Welcome to my show. I'm going to talk about a little bit about what's going on in today's society, because it's changing every day, something new drastically over and over and over. We see it. It's like blatant. We see the evil and it's so blatant. And we can't even keep up with it. We can't even keep up with it anymore. So basically, I'm going to talk about this. In order to follow Jesus, you'll have to unfollow the world. Let me repeat that. In order to follow Jesus, you will have to unfollow the world. The modern day church has completely forgotten or omitted the multiple of scriptures detailing the day of the Lord's fierce anger. This is why they are clueless as to what is soon coming upon this world. They're clueless. Today's church is clueless. The world is screaming lies and blasphemies, so blatant it's right in front of us, while the church is whispering so-called truths. So scared to offend people, while the world is offending God. The people that you were afraid of, or the church is afraid of, who they're afraid of to offend, don't like you anyway. Think about it, they don't like you anyway. So we need to stop being afraid, and we need to stand up. And if you're not ready to be talked about, lied on, misunderstood, used, called fake, stand alone, then you're not ready for the ministry. You're not ready to spread the gospel. You're not ready to spread the truth about the government, our constitution. You're not ready for it. You're not ready for the ministry of anything. And your life is a ministry. People are watching you whether you know it or not. And that's a fact. And no one is supposed to understand your calling. Nobody's supposed to understand your calling, my calling, you know. It wasn't a conference call. It wasn't a conference call. And that's why nobody understands it. But I will say this. If you stay silent and fail to rock the boat in the war between good and evil, your life might be easier, but your children's won't. Your grandchildren's won't. It won't be easier, but your life might be easier. And church is not about how many chairs are filled. It's not. But how many lives are transformed. And as the scripture tells us in Matthew 18:20, Christ says this: "For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." Right? You also got to remember this. The people who created the Tower of Babel showed tremendous unity. They showed tremendous unity. But they were united against the will of God. So you got to ask yourself. I'm going to tell you. Don't even ask yourself. I'm going to tell you. It's better to be divided by truth than united in falsehoods and error. Just the way it is. I believe that. We have a lot of folks. There's a lot of folks in this world, especially in America. They believe that the finest day for mankind in recorded history, the finest day of mankind was when man stepped foot on the moon. All right? But I'm here to tell you, friends, I'm here to tell you, folks, the real finest day for mankind was when Jesus stepped out of the tomb. So that's my little opening monologue, It's going to bring me to the last couple of days' events. State of the Union. Do I talk about the State of the Union? Maybe I'll save that for later on tonight or tomorrow. It's been a little busy for me, but I hate to even talk about it because like I said, it's so blatant. I got to bring attention to it. I had to give a day or two to digest the evil that's being thrown right at us, right in our face, right in our faces, so blatantly. I like to show pictures or show symbols because the Bible is like symbolic, and let's show you how these world heathens aren't even hiding anymore. It's going to bring me to the Grammys. I'm sure everybody saw videos, other people's podcasts on the Grammys and videos. I'm not going to show the videos, pardon me, but I will show a couple pictures that I put together and symbols and how it's so blatant. And, the Grammys, it was brought to you by none other than Pfizer, big pharmaceutical, right? So before I get into the Grammys, I just want to let everybody know in my home state of New York, I stand in a modern day Sodom or Gomorrah, whichever you want to pick it, New York City, at the federal courthouse. For the first time, there's a statue of a woman that sits atop it, right? And as it stands now, as it stood before, there was 9 men from history and religion who perched atop the federal courthouse near Madison Square Park. Now, for the first time, there is a woman that represents it, that joins it, and joins it and sitting on top of it. And I think it's a demon, but it's all relevant to what I'm going to show you. It's called Hava, Havah, Hava. And the artist, I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong, Shajia Sikanda. She named it to breathe life, stuff like that. It's a golden sculpture. And like I said, it sits right on top of the federal courthouse. So let me just show you a couple little pictures of it. Let me show you a couple pictures of it, see if you can see. Okay. This is the golden statue. See that? There's a relevance to why I'm showing you this. But I got to show you. This was put in place a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to sit there. Here it is again. Here's a closer up of it. That looks like a demon to me, right? But you see that image? You see that image? This is on top of the federal courthouse in New York City. See that picture? Right? But when I looked at that, and I seen clips of the Grammys and videos, little shorts and stuff like that, I couldn't help but notice one thing. I mean, to me, that statue is a demon. And the history behind it, if you read all about it, it's just pure evil to me. It's so blatant that it's shown right in front of us, like I did in past videos about the UN, WEF. I'll post them in the back behind me. Check them out. So let's look at that one more time. This, see that statue? What does that look like to you besides a demon? Right? Let me show you something. It's funny. Everything's symbolic. It's right in our face. They don't care. They don't care. When I saw that, That's Madonna. Right? Look. Hey. Let me see. That's Madonna. That's what I saw. That's what I saw out of that. And according to the media, a majority of people in politics especially the media, justices, they call, they say people who believe in God and creation, they call them crazy. They call them domestic T word, domestic enemies. And the people who believe in aliens and the Big Bang Theory, they call them normal, right? They call them normal. They call them educated, stuff like that. So like I said, according to the media and our politicians, majority of our politicians and experts and stuff like that, normal people and extremists. And this is let me show you a little image. This is the Grammys, and this is your Modern Family, right? Normal people, extremists. I don't know. You tell me what you think. But this is what the media tells us. This is what talking heads tell us. Let me show you another little thing that's going on in society. This is also being promoted, talked about, people accepting it, thinking it's great, thinking it's cool. This is also society. This is also normal. See this? Take a good look at that. All right? That's our society, 2023. This is society. And if this is okay to society and acceptable in society, then our society is not okay. It's not. Also talking about this Grammy, there's a lot of images. I took a lot. I mean, like you got Beyonce coming in naked, changing around her, covering her private parts on like a white pale horse. She's actually posed on a bunch of different horses. Brings me to how blatant it is. She was on the cover of Vogue magazine in a red horse. Yeah, I'll put them side by side. Hold on a second. Let me put them side by side. Here it is. The Vogue magazine with Beyonce coming in on the Grammys, on the horses, stuff like that. You know, what is Beyonce's obsession with horses? I don't know. To me, one man, one opinion. I look at it like because there's multiple albums. She, covers her albums. I'm not just picking on Beyonce. I'm just using her as an example because it's so blatant and the world's marveling over her. She's been captured in quite a few pictures with horses. And it brings me to the Four Horsemen. And it gives me this image. This is Beyonce. She's on the white horse, the dark horse, the red horse, the pale horse. See that? Those are all photos of Beyonce. I mean, what does it mean? I don't know. You could figure it out, right? And this is all being worshipped. This is people are worshiping this. They're worshiping these celebrities. Brings me to, if you remember Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick, where it doesn't matter which side you believe. I'm a First Amendment guy. I believe in freedom of speech. So it was tasteless what Colin Kaepernick did, in my opinion, but I support him because I believe in the First Amendment right. But at the same time, Tim Tebow was ostracized and basically removed from the NFL for praying to God, kneeling, praying. And both men, Kaepernick and Tebow, were punished for kneeling, right? Actually, Kaepernick even went on it. See if I can pull this up. Kaepernick was even, they were doing a little side by side. They were, and then we just witnessed a month ago, this football player who on Buffalo Bills got injured, almost died or did die, and was resurrected back to life from the EMTs. Everybody's praying. All of a sudden, the NFL, it's pray again. Everybody's praying to God again. But meanwhile, two guys, Tim Tebow, Colin Kaepernick, two opposite sides of the political field, were kneeling and praying and protesting, whatever they were, got ostracized and kicked out of the NFL. But I can't pull it up. Oh, here we go. I got it. Here we go. Check it out. Right? They even put Colin Kaepernick on the cover of Time magazine. Right? Two images, two different men, two different protests. One's praying to God and thanking God. Can't have that. Can't have that in public and society. The other guy can't have that. You're at your job. You can't kneel for protesting against what's going on in society. Both men no longer in the NFL. You can draw your own conclusions of why and how. I'm not here to tell you why and how. But it gets better. It gets better than that. It gets better than that. There's multiple blasphemies going on with the Lord, my Lord and Savior. For instance, you got the Last Supper. I'm going to use the Last Supper, a couple more. Last Supper, the rapper's Last Supper. Look at this. Look at this. And this is what people are worshiping. This is what people are, fighting for. Oh, they have the right to say. Okay, they do, but it's blasphemy. It's right in front of you. These are people. The rapper's Last Supper, right? How many people these men and these musicians, these artists influence the young minds? And, it gets better. It's not just that. Then you got cartoons for little kids. Southwell, it's really not for little kids, but I'm sure little kids watch it. South Park, The Last Supper. Blasphemy in my eyes. It's all over the place. It's all open. Then just a couple of years ago, we seen it. Here's one. Let me pull this one up. Give me a second, folks. Here's one. We seen it back in 2020 when the Rona came about, and they shut everybody down, locked everybody down for this great reset. For safety and security reasons. We had our medical profession. The what do they call them? Medical professions, doctors and nurses and stuff like that. There's videos, TikTok videos. You could pull them all up. It's all over there. Here it is. They're depicting the Last Supper also, the medical field, all while removing Christ from the issue. Science is the answer, right? Medicine's the answer. Close up churches, close up synagogues, close up, mosques. Doesn't matter what faith you believe, but, close it all up. No reason for it, right? So before you silence yourself, let me just try to end this. I know I'm a little longer. I'm on 16 minutes. So before you silence yourself, to keep the peace, you got to ask yourself, I'm going to be redundant. I said this earlier. You got to ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen if you use your voice? If I use my voice, besides getting put in Facebook jail or censored, my videos taken down, but what's the worst that can happen? Usually the answer is the person may just dislike you. That's it. They don't like you. They don't like your thoughts. They don't like your opinion. They're hypocrites. And that's it. If you were silencing yourself for this reason, if you're allowing yourself to be silenced for this reason, it's shameful because they already don't like you. They only like the fictional you, the social media you, the falsehood, the fake person. That's all they care about. That's all they like. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing gained. So that's my little show on, like I said, this is a new show I created about a month ago. I was really, my last show got shut down by YT, and this is just the way the world's going. It's just leading me in this direction now. I was really into speaking of the tyranny and tyrants that's going on and plaguing this world and the evil of this world. But at the same time, since the Rona, downtime, shut down, job shut down, this, that, yada, yada, yada. I have this time like reflecting on my life at 51 years old. And it seems like I'm obviously I was reading, I'm a backslider, and I was reading more and more of the Gospels, thinking my life's like Job, kind of, the last few years. If that makes any sense. That's another story. But so I guess I'm leaning towards this now. I'm still going to put my current events with what's going on with the corruption and compromised government we have and stuff like that. But something's calling me to talk more about what's going on in the world and what we're all facing, because I'm facing it too, the tribulations, not the tribulation of the Bible, but the tribulations we all face in life that's being thrown at us. And that's why I did this show. And it's, I'm trying to follow it. I'm trying to get back into it, and only his grace will help me. And this is what I'm telling you. In order to follow Jesus, you will have to unfollow the world, as hard as it may be. That's it. The world is evil. It's blatant. There's nothing good on TV anymore. There's nothing good in sports, nothing good in entertainment, not even good music, nothing. The world is evil. So I'm going to tune out, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the show, please give a thumbs up, hit like, hit subscribe, the notification bell, so you get future shows like this. So I'm going to sign out. And like I always say, I'm Tim Davis, a.k.a. Professor X. Small man, one opinion. God bless. God bless you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.